Oh man, what up though, y'all? How y'all living? Now, as much as I didn't want to do this story, I kind of had to do this story because as it still stands, I'm the only person to reach out and talk to Eric Holder. Sound like a lie, don't it? Sound like a big face lie. Now, I know over the past couple of months, people said they was gonna reach out to Eric Holder, but we both know they not because it don't fit their narrative. But saying they will gonna get them a lot of views for the day. Me doing it didn't get me that many views. I actually didn't reach. That was out of all the stories I do. That was the one story I didn't do for views. I did it to come to an understanding because as a dude from the hood, I know when you make it up. Well, at least in Detroit, when you make it up to a certain level and you're doing certain things at that level, certain things are not supposed to happen to you, especially if you got the added security of being a member of an organization. So what happened to Nipsey threw the whole world off, especially listening to his lyrics, listening to his disposition, watching his work. Now, what I came to find is there was no hit put out on Nipsey, so to speak. There was no preconceived notion that something was supposed to happen to him that day. What I also found out is within gang culture, there are different generations. Say about 3, 4 years, it's tiny, baby, little, big, OG. These different generations, although they can have influence, although they can affect certain things, the different generations act as individual groups until they all come together or until it's a overly problem. So Big U, rightfully so, couldn't have just told another baby to get at another baby. So they say. But we all know that's not true because when you get a DP, you picking out what babies to fight this baby or what littles to fight this little. So we know it's some untruth to this. But what my investigation showed me is that Big U didn't have nothing to do with this. But as a content creator, what I will tell you is Big U is the worst person I ever seen try to not make himself look guilty. He's also the worst person I seen explain himself. That may be a character flaw. That may be a communication flaw. That may just be his disposition because he's done so much. Who knows? But this may be the worst showcase I've ever seen of somebody trying to tell you how they didn't do nothing, especially when it's already provable that they didn't do what they being accused of. Now, could Dog have did some distasteful stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, and that was also the rumor that perhaps you were involved because Nip brought Khaled to the hood or something like that.
Which is so funny when Khaled was my friend.
See, first the blank look on his face, no emotion, no remorse. And then, like a lot of us learn communication from body language and eyes, he didn't look up to access his memory. He didn't look over to access his imagination. He didn't look down in reflection either. Blank. But he lit up in adulation to be able to express to you how Black Sam is wrong and DJ Khaled was his friend first.
And
that didn't make sense to me.
It still don't make sense.
That made absolutely no sense to me. And but also something else that didn't make sense to me. The hit didn't make sense to me.
I gotta add this in too. Respect Willie D. I rock with his channel. I watch it every day. it don't stand out to me in most cases, but in this case with a serious conversation, the fact that Willie D doesn't have a mustache is bothering me, dog. Why does he have the gay face? Why does he have the gay face? And we refer to it as the gay face because if you're a heterosexual man, you've been rubbing this part of your face since you was 11, 12 years old, wondering what something was going to grow there. So the idea that a black man would shave his mustache off, that bothers me. It's almost like a black man having two first names. I know that go back to my granddaddy days, but I was raised by my granddaddy. A black man not having a mustache sticks out to me very much. And in this serious time, it's hard to take him serious with his mustache mission. Then why shave it? Nigga, the outline there, and we can tell what part of it is gray. Why shave it? Makes no sense.
Because who takes his girl on a hit? And who goes, if you're going to go do a hit, if it is a hit, if you're going to go.
Who take that girl on a hit? I've come to the realization that women from Detroit are a little bit different than women from everywhere else. Now, I wouldn't suggest you take your girl on a hit. But in my own personal estimation, if I took somebody on a hit, some of the women around me are more trustworthy for that type of activity and what may come after than some of the men. I'm just saying.
Do a hit. Who goes to confront the guy? He already know I'm finna do this dude. Who goes to confront the guy, leave, and then come back?
No, you got it wrong. He never left.
You could correct the story.
No, sir. See, and that's where people get it messed up, and that's where it get convoluted. They had words.
Right.
He went into Master Burgers and ordered a burger. After they had words. Okay. And sat in there on.
He ordered chili cheese fries.
Camera. Walking around. And you can see the derangeness in his head. He sat in there with his shirt off. Then walked out. So he didn't leave like they make you think he had words with Nip. Left, changed his clothes, and came back. That's all untrue and unfactual. I didn't even know the facts of it. Till Street Gangs, Alonzo did it.
Now see, this is where it gets even more convoluted. And it ain't Street Gangs, it's Street TV. And they've been pushing a Big U favorite narrative. And it's like, nobody is gonna back you as you back Street TV because different various reasons to do with Street TV and y'all connection. So none of the TV land, none of us in YouTube streets believe it when Street TV goes to defend you because they always on your side. And it's mighty funny that you go to talking about Street TV, but it was Juan-o's World who cleared Big U's name. It was Juan-o who talked to Eric Holder, and Eric Holder told him specifically Big U had nothing to do with this. But Big U didn't want to push that. He didn't jump behind me sticking my neck out to get the story that he had nothing to do with it. I even tagged him in it. Now, I got cool with some of his homies. I got cool with some of the other 60s. Shout out Loose Cannon. Shout out motherfucking Nina Boy. Shout out a lot of people. Big U ain't never tap in. And I'm the only YouTuber that tried to clear his name. Think about that. That looks suspicious. The video went everywhere. It made it to Vlad TV. Big U ain't nothing. So even to me, that looks funny. Even though I know you didn't do what they're accusing you of, it makes me wonder, well, what is it that you did do when somebody gives actual clearance? And I did this before Eric Holder did his appeal. So Eric Holder was real touch and go with what information he was going to give out because he had that appeal coming. But Juan-o been clear Big U name. Big U ain't give a fuck. He ain't fuck with me. I feel him though.
And
This
the
ain't
brother
no.
had words with Nip, from my understanding, because my big homeboy, Cousin Kerry, was there. He's the one who got shot in the ass. He's one of the ones that got shot. And dude left.
And this is where he was saying that it wasn't no words had, it wasn't no fight, it wasn't no argument. But now you identifying that they had words. That's where people are getting confused at.
Stopped, go to order some food or had whatever he did, sat in there, and then left and went and did what he did. Left and changed, went to the car and came back and shot bro. And you can see something was twirling in the dude's head. But they removed, they omitted that to make people think that it,
your actions or lack
it was a hit.
action.
It sounds better. The man actually sat there. So so now you got to add that in there. Who gonna do a hit? You gonna have words, go order you a burger or some fries, whatever you order, and then.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Nobody's arguing that's coming to do a hit. Ain't nobody, you're not arguing with nobody. If you coming to do something, that's what you're going to do.
Right.
And then
Now see, this is where this gets funny at, because they're speaking from their generation, but I'm going to tell you this about my generation. Some of us need to be hyped up. Some of us need to drink. Some of us need to pretend you said something about our mother. Some of us need to pretend that you offended a dead relative. Some of us need a lot of things to put us in that mind state to do what needs to be done. Some of us don't need anything. Now, in their generation, the goal you left the house with is the goal you left the house with. I identify that. I understand that. But you can't put that mindset on a different age group because it works differently. That's not to say it was a hit or it wasn't a hit or it was a crime of passion or wasn't a crime of passion. And I'm going to tell you like this. Eric told me he had respect for Nip. He fucked with Nip. He said they didn't get into it either. So whatever disagreement they had was one amongst men where it was a clear line drawn, nothing to get loud about, shall we say. But I can only go on with I talked to the horse. So I can only go on what the horse said or told to me. I guess I done put them text messages all over the internet. I could reiterate them into this.
you out, so yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense to me either, man. But I wanted to speak on that because that is it's still, that's fresh today. People are still conversations today.
But that goes to show you that no matter what you do in life, somebody always got to have a bad guy. When it's
now, this is where I get into it with Big U a little bit. The only reason people caught, now rightfully so, some people was going to assume that you could have stopped this or you did it because of your position. And then outside of California, none of us really understood this part of gangs. And none of us really never understood the fact that rolling 60s kill each other all the time. So you can't blame the people for the misnomer that y'all put out there. Nipsey representing his hood in the manner of which he represented his hood makes it impossible for us to understand that y'all been had a reputation for killing each other. And then when we see what happened in Nip, and the first thing that come out, well, you ain't a real rolling 60 until you kill one. Now we lost. And then we looking at your mannerisms. We looking at your actions because you was in front of the camera a lot. And things get to not making sense. They get to not looking right. At least that's what made me go chase down the story, because it's like, I get it, but no way he that cold-blooded. So I had to find out for myself. Is he that cold-blooded? That's what you call cold bleeding. Because that nigga couldn't have had no blood in his body to have to play the role in that.
But all of that is shot in the ass when the man said on the stand or the man said through his lawyer why he did what he did.
Did you know him?
Not at all.
Yeah.
And you gotta understand.
So, but he said through his lawyer, Cal.
In the 60s is a very big unit. Like I said, 4,000 or 5,000 dudes coming and going. He wasn't in my age bracket, and I wasn't in entertainment and music. That was, in fact, they kid. You know, you got your team. You know, like, you know Jay, but your boys ain't gonna know Jay.
Man, it's a little hard to believe that he ain't know this guy, because this young man was known as being a shooter. And from my understanding, he wasn't a part of Nip's crew. He was from the hills, over hills. You know what I'm saying? Which is a part of Rolling 60s, but it's 3 different areas. From my understanding, him and Nip was acquainted. He wanted Nip to listen to his music. He had just put a song out a day or two before, and he was working on his own rap thing. That's why Big U saying he wasn't into music and this, that, or whatever. Could I identify that he knew this guy? Nah, but it'll be hard to say you the OG and it's a young dude that's been out here being a shooter, then shot for the hood, then been shot for the hood, then had his ass whooped and whooped ass, and you ain't at least heard his name. Especially seeing how everybody else know him. Especially seeing how it's of the shitties. It's a lineage of shitties. So that means it's a shitty on Big U age group. So you telling me you don't know Big Shitty? You know Brick Baby, who was supposed to be Baby Shitty. Brick Baby from Over Hills, supposedly, lived in all these other states. And it's not that he lying or telling the truth. It makes it hard to believe. So you know Brick Baby, but you don't know him. All right.
You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, it may be your top dudes who fuck with you every single day who know Jay, but your boy's not gonna know Jay.
Man, let's kill this right there. That was a bad example. Like, let's be clear. We know Willie D believe you had nothing to do with it, but you making yourself look guilty. And that was a bad example. Everybody in Houston know Jay. They may not personally know him, but they know of him. There's nobody Willie D messing with that's from Texas that ain't heard of Lil J, or that ain't gonna hear about Lil J from Willie. There's nobody that's been down with Willie for 20 some odd years and don't know Jay. It's impossible. And then y'all in the game. That makes it even more impossible. And if y'all don't know each other, that means anybody could just claim Rolling 60s, right? But we know that ain't true. I don't know what to tell Big U to do. Him being friends with Whack 100 and Whack 100 having so much disparaging shit to say about Nipsey and he didn't punch him in the face. That's the real reason you being accused of this. That's the real reason. No sooner than Nip died, you was sitting right next to Whack 100 while he spoke disparagingly of the man. We don't know if y'all's trying to promote. We don't know if y'all's trying to destroy the image. We don't know. But that ain't look bad. And I'm going to tell you like this. I lost a brother and I lost a couple friends. I don't give a fuck if you know my brother or knew my brother, or if you know my friends or knew my friends. You'll never sit next to me and say shit disparaging about either one of them. Never. It'll never happen. That's all I got to say about that. Like Forrest Gump, you know what I'm saying? That shit'll never happen. It'll be some furniture moving. And matter of fact, it won't be no furniture moving. If we sitting shoulder to shoulder, it's gonna be us moving. And you talking about if I had a little homie or a little brother and he was taken away like that, I don't give a fuck if he is speaking or not. I don't give a fuck who you are. You're not about to sit next to me and speak bad on him. That'll never happen. And that's where you fucked up at. And now you and that nigga ain't even friends. Y'all dissing each other. So we don't know what's for real or what's a play. And then this ain't just about Nipsey. We've watched rappers come out there and die for nothing for too goddamn long. And they supposed to be protected by this crew and that crew. Y'all murder rate as a state and a city is down. But whenever an out-of-towner come through on business, 70% of the time, you're going to end up robbed or dead. Why is that? How is that? Especially when right up the street, you got billionaires that's not this color, robbing one of them, kidnapping one of them, and change your life. But y'all don't do that shit to them, do y'all? Only us. Crazy. Anyway, in my investigation, you ain't do it. He ain't do it. But the way he taking and handling this is very bad. The way he looks throughout this is very bad. He should just quit trying to explain himself because he doesn't have that capability. And I get it. You didn't put in so much work. When it come down to shit you accused of, you care, but you don't care. He don't care. And he keep making it a point to tell you that Nip wasn't on his level. Well, let me tell all of you guys something. You may not like this. Nipsey Hussle was bigger than the program. Facts. Now, in your area, he may have been a part of the program. Outside of your area, like the world, he was way bigger than gangbanging, bro. And keep minimizing him to just being a gangbanger. Oh, Nip couldn't afford me. Oh, Nip, all that. Horrible, man. And it's in bad taste. But who am I? I'm just a content creator in this situation. And there's going to be a lot of content created off of this interview. And this is kind of crazy. Y'all shouldn't even drop this. Whack 100 called this play out. So now, come tomorrow morning, he going to really make this interview look bad. Not that Big U didn't do a bad job on his own. Because he did. So I never seen somebody make themselves look guilty like this before. We out, man. Watch what you become a part of. Watch what you become a part of, because some things will never be a part of you. And truth be told, some things that you're a part of, you might be the part they trying to cut off. That's just what it boiled down to. Because to have a Nipsey Hussle in the crew would have made the program bigger. And you see the mantra is nobody's bigger than the program. So even though Nipsey was following the program, he was making it bigger. And nobody was comfortable with that. What Nipsey was doing was way different than what Snoop did. Way different. We out, man. R.I.P. Nip. Shout out to all my California folks that I got cool with throughout this process, man. It ain't never been all right with me to be burying niggas like that over shit like this. I swear to you. R.I.P. my nigga Gravy Dave, man. R.I.P. man. There's so many R.I.P. You know what I'm saying? We out.